Godfrey was once a warrior named Hoarah Loux, who changed his name when he became consort to the goddess Queen Marika. He'd led Marika's armies, slaughtered the giants, and sired many of the game's other bosses. Morgott was his son, though both Morgott and his omen twin Mohg were locked in the sewers for their deformations. When there were no more worlds to conquer, Godfrey wept and was abandoned by the Greater Will, the god whose guidance is seen at the sites of grace and whose spirit animates the Golden Order. Makes sense? Too bad. Moving on. Being abandoned by the Greater Will meant that Godfrey was no longer suitable husband material for Marika, so she gave him the boot, making him the first Tarnished. You're a Tarnished, an exile from the lands between, called back by the Greater Will. When you burn the Erd Tree and trigger the endgame, Godfrey returns to steal the throne of Elden Lord out from under you. His history is important. His actual presence in the story is absurd. He's this vain, swaggering giant who shows up at the last minute as a kind of usurper, which is great characterization because it gives the player an immediate, tangible antagonism towards him. The absurdity comes halfway through the fight and the transition between Phase 1 and 2. This makes no sense to me, but he bonded his spirit to some kind of spectral cat to make him more civilized and appealing to Marika when they were together. In trying to defeat you, he consumes the essence of his ghost cat, assuming his former identity. "Now I fight as Hoarah Loux," he bellows, and I literally died laughing because I was still cracking up when he started trying to murder me. "Now I fight as Hoarah Loux" is just phenomenally atonal to the rest of the game. It's a stray fragment of the WWF fallen into the lands between. You can just hear the announcer declaring, "What a moment, what incredible energy in the Erd Tree Arena here tonight. As Godfrey the Golden murders his own ghost cat in a fit of rage, the crowd is loving it." That's right, Tom, we haven't seen an appearance by Hoarah Loux since he won Thunder from Down Under in 1986. I'll tell you, anything can happen tonight at the foot of the Erd Tree, and probably will, after this brief message from our friends at Lanedale Chevrolet. And that's the kicker, man. Hoarah Loux even fights with a moveset like a wrestler, all grabs and body slams, plus a little bit of that good old beast magic. From Software games are often very funny, and this certainly strikes me as a joke of some sort, but what a joke to choose for the second-to-last boss encounter of the entire game. This isn't side content. This is almost the pointy bit of the pyramid that over 100 hours of game have been building towards, and it is so atonal that the entire mood of the climax has to flex around it. "Now I fight as Hoarah Loux." You sure do, pal. You sure do.